Welcome to Japanese from Zero. This is Course 3, Lesson 1. We're continuing our topic on time spans. I ran into 18 minutes long on the last one, and I had to cut that one short. We are going to be talking about time spans. We're just going to introduce new time spans, and then we'll give some example sentences. And by this lesson, you do need to know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, I'm sure I've said this before in another video, but kanji numbers are important to know. However, Japanese people a lot of times don't use the kanji numbers. Okay, they will use what we call the Arabic numbers or the numerals that we are used to. And I remember that confused me when I first went to Japan. I thought, why are they using English numbers? I thought they were English numbers. Another thing that really confused me, I'd be walking down the street, right? And girls would be walking, and of course I like girls, so I'm like stalking them. And they're walking down the street, and then they say goodbye to each other, and they go, bye-bye. And I'm like, oh, they're talking to me. I always thought they were talking to me. Because why didn't they say sayonara? Because Japanese people don't say sayonara. Farewell. It is the last time I will see you for a while. No, they say, ja ne, mata ne, bye-bye. That's why I say bye-bye at the end of my videos, right? And Japanese people say bye-bye. I mean, friends say bye-bye. All right. Let's do this. So basically, we're just going to go through some of the time spans. First, we're going to do nichi. Now, we already covered this a little bit, right? Remember, we learned 1日, 2日, 3日 for days of the month, right? These are so similar. My throat's dropping. No voice here. I don't think we call it throat dropping. I think we call it voice dropping. Okay. Now, you'll notice that up here, it says kan is optional. Kan means time period or span of time. So what will happen is you can say ichinichi, that means one day, okay? And you can also say ichinichi kan, like that. But you don't need it. Ichinichi is very easily always means basically one day, right? But futsuka means 2 days and the second of the month. So if you have the kan though, you know for sure it means 2 days. 2日間. Okay? Now we don't have them in our list, and it is optional. And depending on the sentence, you won't need kan because like it's completely understandable. Alright. So we already know the rest of these. We already know them. 3日, 4日, 5日, 6日, 7日, 8日, 9日, 10日, 11日. Now from the 11th up, it just goes to 11日. 11日間, right? A period of 11 days. You wouldn't translate it like that, but it means 11 days, right? 12日 or 12日間. Okay? All right. I did want to say one thing. I just kind of zoned out for a second. I apologize. If you're still having problems remembering the difference between 4th and the 8th, or now 4 days and 8 days, I have a way. I think we put it in the book in a section called Cool Tools. It's yokka. It feels short, right? Yokka, because of a little tsu, and that would be 4, right? And if you lengthen it, yokka, visually you can see it's longer, therefore it's an 8. It's double. Yokka, yokka. Although if you probably look at the sound file, it's literally the exact same length, probably. Okay, so now let's get into weeks. So when you're saying 1 week, 2 week, 3 weeks, the kan can never be removed. It must always be there. Okay? So 1週間, 1週間. Never 1週間. Must be 1週間, 2週間, 3週間, 4週間. Just add the number. 5週間, 6週間. But now Japanese people tend to say it fast. So it sounds like they're doing rok, but they're not. It is roku, but there's no way to write roku and rok. It's the same thing. 6週間, 6週間. That ku is almost very whispered, kind of silent, okay? It is there though. 7週間. Never 7週間. Oh my gosh, try it. Everyone try it. Ready? 3, 2, 1. 7週間. It's too hard to say. So it's 7週間, 7週間. Now, 8週間, 8週間. Now, I feel like you want to say 8週間, but it's wrong. It's 8週間. Okay? 8週間. 9週間。9週間。never 9週間。never。9週間。10週間。10週間。11週間。12週間. Honestly, when you get to 12 weeks, you're probably going to say 3 months. That's my guess. Now, I want to give you a slight trivia thing here. When Japanese women are pregnant, you know in America, I'm going to hold that thought because we're going to do months right now. We're going to do months. Let's do months and then we'll talk about what I was going to say. So months is kagetsu. This is a little bit tricky because we know kongetsu this month, raigetsu next month, and we know ichigatsu, nigatsu, but here we have another thing where we add a new element of this ka and then we say getsu. People constantly, often, confuse ichigatsu and ikkagetsu initially. Don't. So ikkagetsu means 1 month. Because ikkagetsu by itself is very unique, you really don't have to add the kan. Ikkagetsu kan. It's there sometimes, but not required. Because ikkagetsu never means anything else. Unlike, ichinichi, futsuka, mikka, yoka, those can mean other things. Not the ichinichi one, but the futsuka, mikka, yoka, then the kan becomes important sometimes. Here, the kan is almost never important. So you could just say, you can get away with ikkagetsu. So ikkagetsu means 1 month. 2ヶ月 2 months, 3ヶ月 4ヶ月 not 4ヶ月 it's 4ヶ月 never 4ヶ月5ヶ月 next one is 6ヶ月 6ヶ月 never 6ヶ月 and 7ヶ月 7ヶ月 never 7ヶ月 that sounds like some type of food. Yeah, I'll take the 7ヶ月 7ヶ月 8ヶ月 8ヶ月 now I do feel like you might hear 8ヶ月 I feel like that might work. But the proper way is 8ヶ月 9ヶ月 9ヶ月 10ヶ月 10ヶ月 and the pattern continues 11ヶ月 12ヶ月 there, we've got an entire year right there. 12ヶ月 Alright, final one, final time span. Remember, we already know hours. 1時間、2時間、3時間 We already know minutes. 1分、2分、3分 Okay? 1年 Just add nen. This is the easiest one. Ichinen, never innen. Innen. Like it, you would never have a little tsu before an n. It just doesn't work, right? Innen. What would you do with that? So normally it's before like the ka sound or a ta sound or something hard with the t sound or the k sound. So, ninen, 2 years. Ninen. Now, ninen can also mean year 2, right? Year 2. For example, if we were saying Nisen Ninen, that's 2002, the year 2002. Okay? That's why the kan is important to distinguish it. So Ninen kan is much more common. Contextually though, you would never say the year of 2. Like we say 2002. That's okay. That makes sense. Nisen Ninen makes sense to say year 2002. But if you're just saying I was in Japan for 2 years, you can say 2年 imashita. It works fine. Or 2年間 imashita. 3年 3 years. 4年 4年 never 4年 4年 5年 6年 Now here's one where both can work. 7年 or 7年 7年 7年間 7年間 Kan is optional. 8年 9年 never 9年 10年 I'm not sure why I have that yellow. Maybe I didn't want you to think 10年, like we had 10週間 and all the other ones were, we've had other ones where it goes to little tsu. It doesn't do that here. It's 10年 11年 12年 All right, let's do some sentences. I just did this one. So, about how long were you in Japan? How would you say that? About how long were you in Japan?どれぐらい日本にいましたか? Or 日本にどれぐらいいましたか? Both work. どれぐらい日本にいましたか? 日本にどれぐらいいましたか? I was there for a period of 9 years. That's my answer always. I was there for a period of 9 years. Now when I say period of, you better have come. Okay? If I say period, I'm purposely saying 間。9年間いました。9年間いました。Alright? What if you were just there for a short time? You were there for 3 months. About 3 months. I was there for about 3 months. Now in English I said, I was there for about 3 months. You don't need to say そこに or あそこに. If you do, you sound really foreigner. You sound like a 外国人. 100%. 100% 外国人に聞こえます。だから、therefore, そこにとかあそこに言わないでください. Don't say those. Okay? You're just gonna, because the there is covered in the いました. And we already know that we're talking about Japan. So, I was there for about 3 months. 3ヶ月ぐらいいました. 3ヶ月ぐらいいました. Remember, because 3ヶ月 by itself always just means 3 months, the kan is kind of frivolous, not exactly necessary. But you could have said 3ヶ月間ぐらい. 3ヶ月間ぐらいいました. And by the way, we're not talking about it in this lesson, right? But 3分間, a period of 3 minutes. 3分間. If you're ever reading instructions for instant ramen, it's going to say 3分間 in the microwave or something like that. Okay? And 1時間 has the kan in it, right? 1時間, it would never be 1時間間. You wouldn't do that. Kan in hours can never be removed. Or else, if you removed it, it would become 3時, 3 o'clock. 3時, 3 o'clock, 3時間, 3 hours. A period of 3 hours. All right? Now, here's a weird question. You're going somewhere. Okay? Now, we want to ask somebody, how many days will you not be here? And we want to do it in a very nice, polite, soft sentence. Nice. We're not going to say, いません. いませんか? We're not going to say that. We're not going to say, いないの. いないの? We're not going to say that. We're going to say, a very common way that we already learned. I'm not going to give it to you. Think about it. You cannot say, いませんか? And you cannot say, いないの. Or いないの. You're going to say, what those mean, though. How many days? For a period of how many days will you not be here? Now, we didn't even do it. We didn't even teach. It's in the book, but we didn't put it in the PowerPoint, right? 何日. 何日 means how many days. For a period of how many days is 何日間. So, 何日間いないですか? It's so pretty. So nice. 何日間いないですか? That is very polite. Very soft, polite Japanese. Okay? 何日間いませんか? Not a problem. Not a problem. But 何日間いないですか? Nicer. I like it. I won't be here for 3 days. I won't be here for 3 days. 3日間いないです. いません would have been okay. But feels a little bit, just a little bit abrupt, a little bit. 3日間いません. Just a little bit abrupt. 3日間いないです. Nice, polite sound. Oh, I didn't give you any chance to even think about it. What does this mean? 1週間いないです. 1週間いないです. Could I say 1週いないです? 1週. No. That actually becomes a whole different meaning. It means one loop. 1週. 1週. 1週, 2週, 3週 means a loop, a rotation. So you have to have kan. Kan can never be removed from 週. 週間. All right. How would you say? Oh, hey, you're coming to Japan? About how? Oh, you're in Japan already. Sorry, you're in Japan already. About how much longer will you be here? I want you to really think about this. How much more about will you be here? About how much more? How much longer will you be here? So glad I split these up. I'm already at like 16 minutes. This would have been a mega video if I hadn't split it up. About how much more longer will you be here? The word long doesn't really come in there, right? Remember, the English has to be turned into Japanese. Even though the word long is in there, we don't say nagai. Nagai means long in Japanese. Don't need it. あとどれぐらい about how much more. That's what あと does. We learned it in a prior lesson. Remember we said あと一つください. One more please. Okay. あとどれぐらいいますか about how much longer will you be here? I'm going to be here for about 15 more days. I'm going to be here for about 15 more days. A to 15日ぐらいいます. A to 15日ぐらいいます. All right. I'm going to be here for about... No, not even about. Not even about. I'm going to be exact. I'm going to be here for 5 more months. 5 more months. あと5ヶ月います. Or あと5ヶ月間います. Not necessary though. Less is more. Okay, let me ask you this question. You have to think about it. I'm going to give you Japanese. I want you to think about what it means. 友達は何人ぐらいいますか? I'm sorry. 友達は何人ぐらい来ますか? Now you'll hear, by the way, くらい too. ぐらいcould be くらい. They'll change it. Depending on the person, they'll say ぐらい and くらい. 友達は何人ぐらい来ますか? 友達は何人ぐらい来ますか? About how many friends are coming? 友達は何人くらい来ますか? 何人ぐらい来ますか? About how many friends are coming? Maybe about 100 people will come. Maybe about 100 people will come. Small change, sorry. Maybe 100 people will come. 多分100人くらい来ます. 多分100人ぐらい来ます. I thought I had it on the screen, sorry. All right. So let's give you a challenging one. I like to always make the last one challenging. Today about 30 people. Today it's about 30 people. Oh my gosh. Another typo. Sorry. All right. Let me make sure I don't have any more typos, but okay, I think we're good. Good to know that my driver stopped working. What does that mean for the process here? Okay, we're good. Okay, so we are going to say today about 30 people. Today it's about 30 people. We can say it's. We don't have to say kimasu again. Today it's about 30 people. And as for tomorrow, another 10 people will come. 10 more people will come. As for today, it's 30 people. About 30 people. I have to make sure. As for today, it's about 30 people. And as for tomorrow, another 10 people will come. 今日は30人ぐらいです. 今日は30人ぐらいです. そして明日はあと10人来ます. あと10人来ます. Whew, we got through it. Thank you for watching. We are going to move on now to another section of lesson 1. It's a big one. I'll see you there. Bye-bye.